Math is just on a historic run right now. This dude has over 750,000 subscribers, and he doesn't even show his face. For all we know, he could be making these videos butt naked. We don't even know what he looks like. The dude might just be artificial intelligence for all we know. But let's go ahead and get right into the video.
I don't have a boyfriend, but I do have a lot. So go on those dates, ladies.
I don't have a boyfriend, but I do have a lot. You may recognize this statement as a different form of I am the table.
Yeah.
I don't have a boyfriend, meaning I have not promised anything to anyone, but I do have a lot of things promised to me.
And when people say that, I just think it comes with a lack of self-awareness. Like Kevin Samuels brought up the what do you bring to the table argument because he was trying to ask these women who say they want these top-tier guys, well, what do you have to offer him? You know what you want, but do you know what you have to do or bring to get what you want? And it's funny because there are a lot of ladies that are offended by that question, and I don't understand why. It's probably because they've been taught throughout their entire lives what they should expect from a man, but they've never been taught what they should do for men.
Let's hear the story.
I started going on dates last August. It is also
full
August.
sleeve.
So I've been dating for a year now, and I don't have a boyfriend. But let me tell you what I do have. I have a financial advisor. I have a physical therapist. I have a CEO to get investment and business advice from. I have a plastic surgery doctor.
Oh, there it is. Doesn't have a boyfriend, but she does have a full sleeve. And I'm not saying it's a red flag all of the time, but I'm definitely saying it's a red flag a lot of the time. A plastic surgeon, she's 22 years old. That's the problem. Women be taking advice from women that don't even like themselves. You taking advice from a woman that put hair on her hair, nails on her nails, and eyelashes on her eyelashes. And this type of dating is self-sabotage, by the way. Like when you got all these different guys doing all these different things for you and you don't have to do anything for them, you're making it very hard for your future self to be happy with one man that isn't capable of doing all those things, who's also going to expect you to do some things for him. So in my opinion, simping ain't only bad for the guys involved, it's bad for the women too. At least if those women ever want to go on to have a family. In my opinion, male or female, if you're not dating with the potential for marriage, then you're just wasting your time, in my opinion.
I have a man who fixed my car for me. While I don't have a boyfriend, I do have many other professions now in my back pocket. I have a man who knew I wanted a G7X. He's gonna watch this. He knew I wanted a G7X, and so he bought it. I paid him for it. I wouldn't do that, but I couldn't get it on the drops.
Oh,
And he got
man.
it for me.
All right, got it. I'm going to lead you through the transaction using worksheets from my packet called The Table. Available on the
math.
link in my bio, along with a link to Shortform, my sponsor. Shortform has summaries of books that help you learn. I will leave the link right here, also in the video description.
Short
Now,
ad for
as
Shortform.
you fill out the table, be sure to reference the table, which is a table of things to put on the table. A lot of these are overlooked. When we think of what you bring to the table, we usually think of things like your money that you've earned or your body or cooking and cleaning, and those are all just physical things that you have or do. But also, you can bring your situation, which might be your social status or
that matters.
roles that you play in society. Maybe you're a leader.
Yeah, debt, large amounts of debt, that matters. I had a friend that was dating this woman, and he was like, well, she's in $50,000 worth of debt. And I'm like, that is a deciding factor, especially if there are other women that don't necessarily have that amount of debt. That can be a deciding factor.
Where it includes your personality characteristics and
Yeah.
things about who you are. Like maybe you have a lot of patience. That's very rare and valuable. And you can even bring your relationships to others and your life history and the things that you're connected to.
Yep.
I have at times in the past been friends with someone and it made me very, very popular. So what you do is you figure out everything you have to bring to the table and then you put it on the table. So the top is player 1 and the bottom is player 2. And in this case, there are, I think, 7 guys and they are bringing, let me check. There was 6. And what they are bringing is finance advice, physical therapy, investment management, plastic surgery, auto repair, and courier services.
And there's one guy that she didn't mention, and that's the guy that's giving her pickle. So if I had to guess, there's probably at least 7.
And that's all we know. We don't have anything to put here or here in this particular story. And we can only assume what they want, which is most likely just don't talk to other dudes.
Yes.
And that's a problem since there is 6 of them. I put that in the would be nice category since obviously they're not making sure of it. Now let's look at what she wants. There are different levels of want. There are things that you don't want, and there are things that you don't care about. We don't know of either of those. And then there's things that she needs and things that would be nice. And we don't know for sure, but it sounds to me like she would not be talking to any of these guys if they weren't doing these things for her. So we're going to put that all in the need category. And then there's what she's bringing, which is, I guess, me probably, which means I will text some of you back sometimes. It doesn't seem like there's much more of a relationship here.
And that's the thing about simps, bro, because they're willing to give up so much for so little, they make it hard for honest men that really want something out of a relationship. You gotta get that simping out your pimping. If a woman don't like you, there's nothing you can give her that's gonna make her like you, brother.
And then I'm gonna assume that she doesn't want to bring effort, attention, or hope since she's not doing it. So now you have your exchange. What these guys are bringing to the table is six
their
different
expertise,
professional quality services. And what they want in exchange is attention and exclusivity, and she's not willing to give any. So we'll just fill up these meters. These guys are giving about, I would estimate, 70% of a relationship's worth of effort, and she is receiving it, and she is giving about 2% of the effort that she could give, and the guys are receiving nothing because they don't want what she's offering, which is just answering texts.
In the would be nice category, he should also put, please be nice to me. Try to some degree keep up with yourself after we commit to each other, and actually want to have a family, not just be in a relationship for your own benefit.
Now that doesn't seem like a very fair exchange, does it? That looks like exactly the way that I drew the table, doesn't it? These guys are putting in a ton of effort, and she is just receiving it.
That's
and you
crazy.
don't want to be this guy.
That's a crazy picture.
Let me show you why. If you do things for her in exchange for nothing, then nothing is what you are worth to her.
Yep.
You don't want to be worth nothing, do you? And if you keep giving her stuff for free, then she's going to feel like she deserves it, which is going to make her give less back, not only to you, but to the other 6 guys. And then you end up with a market where these guys are giving and giving and giving, and it's only other guys who are getting. And that is why this giving and giving and giving, also known as simping, is a bad idea.
Right.
If she likes you, she doesn't need you to do any of this.
Exactly. And that's when chivalry died. Chivalry died when men realized that women are willing to sleep with men that they actually like. And so if I have to jump through hoops and give all these things just to get something that you're giving to another guy for free, you probably don't actually even like me. Women being willing to give up the milk before expecting a man to buy the cow is why other men stop wanting to buy the cow.
I have been this guy, the guy who gives 300%, 3 relationships worth of effort, and then she gives back 0.
Yeah, that's crazy.
At no point does she ever start giving something back.
Yeah, never do that.
She's not gonna. I have also been this guy, the guy who the total amount of effort I put in would be maybe I pick something up at the store and she does everything else. And at no point does she require you to do more.
Yeah, don't do that either.
If they like you, you can get away with 5%. That is why simping
don't do that either,
is such
though.
a bad strategy. You're giving away everything and getting nothing. And this one is a fun strategy, but it hurts their feelings and then they hate men forever. That's why I put this one here. Find someone who gives you equal energy.
Yeah.
Here's how that works. When you put something on the table and she receives it, she goes, oh, that's great. I like that. I better put something on the table to make sure that he doesn't leave. And if she doesn't do it and you don't leave anyway, then you are worth 0.
Exactly.
You don't want to be worth nothing. And also, you're driving prices out of control for the rest of us. I don't know about you, but I would never fix that girl's car for 1/6 of her text message time. That's out of control.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, maybe for Sydney Sweeney or someone famous, it would.
There's no amount of status, there's no amount of celebrity, there's no amount of how pretty a woman is that's gonna make me do that. That's crazy. I love being useful, but I refuse to be used by anybody. And I must be a hater, because even if a woman isn't famous, if I see that she has a lot of guys doing things for her and that are desperate for her attention, I don't even want to try to compete with them. Unless you show interest in me first, I already know the little attention that I got to give is not gonna be enough to compete with all these dudes out here, especially these dudes that's actually willing to simp.
Be worth hours of labor for a few moments of attention, but for just some girl, you're embarrassing yourself. So here's the
Facts.
situation. This girl is intelligent. She understands her place in the market and she
Yeah.
has made choices about how to relate to it. I think her choices are low quality. I think she's basically just failing the shopping cart test.
But then that's not intelligence. Intelligence would be picking the right choice. And that irritates me so much. There are so many people that get so smug because they go and get these college degrees, but then they make horrible life decisions. To me, it doesn't matter if you have a degree. To me, I care more about how you govern your own life. And being willing to use people doesn't necessarily make you intelligent, but it does make you kind of evil.
If you don't return the shopping cart, it means you don't understand that living
Well,
in a
let me go
good
back. I wanna
cart
hear what he
test.
said here.
I think her choices are low quality. I think she's basically just failing the shopping cart test. That's if you don't return the shopping cart, it means you don't understand that living in a good world relies on you. If
Right.
you don't put the cart back, who will?
Right.
If you don't pick up trash, then there will be trash, which is why some places look like this. And if you accept a lot of energy without giving anything back, like this girl did to this guy, then they get angry and they do the same to others, which is what I did to this girl and a lot of other ones before I figured out it was wrong. That's leaving emotional trash everywhere, which pollutes the dating pool.
Yeah.
And that's why everything sucks, because we all slid down the chart. We got a lot of people behaving like this and this. And it looks like we're headed for this. So I don't like her choices, but they are her choices, and she has made them
Right.
intelligently, and you must now do the same. If she is gonna take what she can get and give nothing back, then you have to stop giving until she gives up the roster.
Exactly.
Do no favors for someone who has made you no promises. And make sure those promises are backed up by something.
Yeah,
Promises
action.
don't mean anything if you don't lose something for breaking them. Do not keep doing labor for women in the hopes that they will pick you.
Right.
They will not. That is not why they pick men. Labor goes here under investment. And if you do a lot of that, you end up in the friend zone.
Yep.
Women don't pick you for being in the friend
Yep.
zone. They pick you for making them feel special. And by special, I mean adult special. If you are doing this, you are in the male version of a situationship. You're giving everything and getting nothing.
Yeah.
So just like women used to say, I'm not yours until I get a ring, now you have to say, yeah, I could fix your car if we live together, because
Right.
then what's yours is mine, but otherwise I'm busy.
Right, and courting is one thing. Like if I'm taking you out on a date to get to know you because I see some type of longevity between the two of us, then that's one thing. But paying your bills, fixing your car, and just doing those types of things just doesn't make any sense, especially in today's time. That stuff made sense before when women used to not take things from men that they didn't actually have interest in. But now in the world where women are accepting gifts from everybody and they're dating 5 or 6 dudes at one time, you just gonna end up another guy on the list.
If enough of you do this, the market will correct itself. It'll go from here back to here. Women spend their time with the top guys because the simps pay for nothing.
Right,
If the simps stop
they
paying,
fund it.
then they're going to start asking the top guys to pay, and they'll say no. And then everyone will end up with who they're supposed to.
Exactly.
So don't give away
Yeah.
your investment for nothing. That's money, time, effort, support, commitment, emotional attachment, sharing things. Tell her you only get this stuff if you are serious about this. And most of them won't, but the ones who do are
Actually
the ones
like
who
you.
will give you equal energy.
Yeah, they're the ones that like you.
Instead of having no boyfriend, but having a lot. One last detail before I go. This only applies to the big stuff. These are professional services being given for free to someone who does not appreciate them. Remember, you can use the table to evaluate every interaction. So if she's asking you for something ridiculously easy that she could do herself, and in exchange you get her exclusive attention, that might be a hanky drop. The hanky drop is women used to drop something on the ground so a man would come get it for her.
Yeah. The damsel in distress, basically, come so I can spend some time with you.
And that's not much work, but you do get a lot of attention. That fills up the relationship meter a lot without much effort from you. A lot of guys just don't pick up on this. Someone will say something like, come help me open the peanut butter, and it's not hard to open at all.
Right.
And she didn't need you to do that. So why else would she want you there? Maybe it's because you're outside of the not people zone. But if she wants hundreds of dollars of unpaid labor and in exchange she texts you LOL, then she probably just wants
crazy.
Another slave.
Yeah.
And being a slave is not attractive. I did everything you told me moves you in this direction, not this one. So you have to look at everything as an exchange and don't give a lot to get a little. It's not going to work. And you are ruining the market.
Right.
You are paying for what someone else gets, and that makes you cheap and therefore not valuable. And this girl even knows it. Remember this part?
I have a man who knew I wanted a
He's going to see this. That I picked up on that too. I didn't mention it. I wanted to stop the video, but I had stopped the video too many times. But her saying he's going to see this, she knew that she was in the wrong.
G7X. He's going to watch this. He's going to watch this. He's going to watch this.
She's laughing because she's pointing out his low value in front of his face. But she also doesn't want to lose the free services.
Right.
And she won't as long as he stays in the
a
dark
simp.
and convinces himself that something is coming later. He thinks he has a chance, but she thinks he's just free labor. So remember,
I don't have a boyfriend, but I do have a lot. So
don't give her a lot. You won't be a boyfriend.
Yeah, these are the types of women that don't want to be loved. They want to be worshipped. And unfortunately, I only worship God. I'll leave a link in the description below. Let me know in the comments below if this video was a W or L, and give me the HBO special as a help brother out special. Hit the like and the subscribe button for more content. Till next time.